Hi there, everybody. Happy New Year to everybody. It's December 31st, 2017, last day of the year. I wanted to do just a quick 5-minute overview of basically the member homepage and the website and where to find things. I know it can be a little confusing, especially when it's embedded in my regular blog. So anyway, here is the web page, my homepage for the blog, Investing for a Living. You can see here in the top left, there's the Econ Pulse newsletter. Okay, and under there I have basically where you subscribed and then the member homepage, and it's got a bunch of submenus that I'll go over. But here's where you get to the member homepage, and that's where everything is. It's not the only way to get to everything, but that's all the resources are there. And at the top of the page, the first three links are basically about the model, about the system. So I have a page that explains about the comp economic model, why we did it this way, what the signals are, etc. Okay, and then the output of that is the SPY comp indicator, which feeds into the investment models. And in this page, I describe what the investment models are, at least the first ones that I developed, and what the theoretical results are. Going back for a long time, all the way to 71, even take some of them back to 1948. Okay, and then I have a few more things, like I did a special topic that I linked to here because I thought it was important, is how our model fails, how it's failed in the past, and what the results are. I think you'll find that enlightening. So the backgrounder, when models fail, I probably would say they're the two most important ones. Now, you don't need to know this too much. You can just follow the signals, but I find that when the next freak out in the market comes, it's nice to understand what the system is doing and when it's going to react. At least I find that comforting. Okay, and here, this here for quick access is the other sort of links. I have the dashboard, which is basically all the signals. I update that once a month. So you can hear is the update I did yesterday. It tells you what the status of the indicator is, what the status of the statistical model is, the Probit model that you've maybe read about in the backgrounder by this point. All right. So when these are green, all the investment portfolios are going to be in risk on mode. Okay, so they're going to be green and invested in various assets. And these signals are valid for the entire month. Okay, and so I just update them once. These are all the various investment models we have now and what they're invested in for the month of January. So I update them at the last day of the month, before the close, hopefully, so you can make some trades. If not, you can see these at the end of the month and make the trades the following day. It won't make that big a difference in the long run. Okay? Now, after the dashboard, we have the top 6 indicators. Now, this is all in the PDF of the newsletter. Here's just quick access if you want throughout the month. These are the 6 indicators historically all the way back to 1948 and how they've reacted. Okay, and then we also show the gray bars are the recessions. And the green here is the S&P 500 drawdowns. Obviously, during recessions, part of the background of the model is during recessions, the S&P does very poorly. So we want to avoid those. All right, and you can see the signals here, going back, etc., etc. This is just for quick reference. They're in the newsletter as well, but I find them useful to check every once in a while to see how close we are to these dotted lines are the warning line and trigger lines, warning line and trigger lines for each of the indicators, which are developed statistically as well. Okay, and then since we don't trust ourselves 100% and something could always be wrong or we could have missed something, we track a bunch of supporting individual and composite indicators, and you can find all those here. We keep heat maps of them. Green is good, yellow is not so good, red is we're in warning mode, all right? And so there's a bunch of individual indicators, and these are the ones we'll probably pay attention to more is the composite indicators or other professional organizations that do this for a living. We even have some of our own models, like I have my own model here, enhanced aggregate spread that I track. So update them every month and see what, in general, they're tracking a bunch of other indicators, similar ones, leading indicators. We'll also have global stuff here, so you can kind of get a overall idea of what others are saying, not just us. So the important thing there would be if there's a divergence between what we're saying and what the models are saying. Okay, the investment models, that's relatively new from last month, and here I describe the investment models. Performance statistics, correlations, model equity curves, that's all new, drawdown curves, okay? And in this page here, there's also a link to the model descriptions, exactly what they do and how they act, okay? So you can read here, right, what the SPY comp investment model does. That one's the easiest one, the DM comp model, which is like the Antonacci GEM model, right, when it's risk on, when it's risk off, and which assets it's invested in. Okay, and EM comp and world factor comp. These are the two latest ones. Okay, so you can spend some time reading that. They're not really that difficult. On the investment model page, stats, correlations, like I said, and the curves, those are, again, updated once a month. And I haven't updated them for December yet. I will shortly. And then this is also new. I take the investment models and create 4 example investors. There's many more permutations of the investment models or these model investment portfolios that we could create. So if you have some input, you'd like to see something, let me know. So I have a getting started investor, a diversified investor, an aggressive TAA investor, and an income focused investor. Percentages split between the models, how they've done in the past. Same thing, equity curves and drawdown curves. So usually it's good to have more than one model. We never know when one model is going to do better than the other one. It's just statistical, variation, or one world market like the U.S. stock market is outperforming all the others like it has over the last 10 years. So a U.S.-based TAA model is going to do a lot better than an international model. But that should not apply over long periods of time. So you'd like to be diversified. I find at least 2, if not 3 TAA models is worth spending your time on. And then I have the portfolio tracker. Right, this is based on data from FinViz website, and this is a Google sheet that gets updated automatically whenever it changes. Now these are, FinViz sometimes has some issues around end of month or end of year. In general, it's pretty good. The relative differences in these things is what matters, but this allows you to check daily if you wanted to implement your portfolios at other times and not listen to my signals and do it other times during the month. You could use this. It's pretty good as long as you pay attention to the relative signals. Now sometimes it's really close, like this month. There's a 0.2% difference. And for example, in my data sources that I use for the signals, it was a little bit different. So as long as you stick to one source and follow it, it's fine. And then here in this table is all the newsletters. So, and basically listed by month, and each of these linked to a PDF file. So the December newsletter is here, and it links to a PDF, and I put the special topics. So this month dealing with beta risk, the improved comp indicator we just announced, etc. So you can click, for example, on the December newsletter. It'll load the PDF file. You can save it to your computer. You can print it. Now I do these high quality PDFs. It doesn't allow me to embed links in there, but I know some people like to print, and I like the higher resolution than the online PDF versions. So we can always change that in the future, but that's what we have for now. And you have a link to your account page, so you can change passwords, stuff like that. Hopefully not cancel. And let's see, well, that's about it on the member home page. And the other thing is in the quick link section, if you go to the member home, you'll see these submenus. So I have the submenu, the dashboard, the chart components, so you can just get here quicker instead of going down through the member home page. And that's really about it. So far that's what I have. I'm working on some other new stuff for the new year. I'd like to put up an FAQ to answer common questions that you may have. And I'd like to put up at least one discussion forum. I know there's a lot of you with some ideas there or different situations, and we can just bounce them back and forth instead of doing it over email. And a lot of you have been doing this for a while as well, so you do have a lot of experience and knowledge that we can all benefit from. So that's about it. I hope you enjoyed it, and have a good